Netflix is bringing us a prequel series to The Dark Crystal, and we didn't even have to wait for a great conjunction. I'm Sasha Pearl Raver, and this is Screen Junkies News. Puppet and gem enthusiasts rejoice. Netflix and the Jim Henson Company are going back to the Dark Crystal's magical world of Thra for a 10-episode series. But instead of picking up where the movie left off, the Dark Crystal, the Age of Resistance, will go back in time and explore what happens when three Gelfling discover the horrifying secret behind the Skeksis' power and set out on an epic journey to ignite the fires of rebellion and save their world. Here with me to talk about this new series are Matt Key and Emma Fife. What's up, nerds?
So nerds.
Yeah, deep cut nerds.
Deep cut over here.
So first things first, we know that we're getting 10 episodes. 10 episodes, which is actually kind of short for Netflix. Sometimes they go 13.
Yeah.
But I like that. I think 10 is a better, more manageable size.
I agree.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
That's been my argument on all the Marvel stuff since the first season of Daredevil. I was like, I love Daredevil, just got a little bit too much of it. Like, cut it down to 10. So I'm glad to see them doing that with 10.
Yeah.
So 10 episodes, but why do this as a series instead of a movie? What do you think, Emma?
I mean, I think that with The Dark Crystal, in the film, they established this really, really interesting world. And certainly Brian Froud, who was, sort of the concept artist behind all of The Dark Crystal, had so much additional visual stuff that they never really got to explore. So I think that it's so they can really just like maximize the world building within Thra, I guess is what it's called. I did not know that till this morning, but
maximize the world building. What do you think?
I'm excited. Look, I always love it when Netflix does it instead of a movie, because it allows us to get so much more into the world. It allows us to get so much more into just like the characters and what they're doing and everything else. So like if we get a Daredevil movie or a Jessica Jones movie, we get like 2 hours with these people. But if we have a whole season, we get so much more rich storytelling. I mean, they can like go off and do like a whole episode on one character who hasn't been focused on the entire time. And we get an entire backstory there,
And especially with sort of the background story of the Skeksis and the Mystics, which, spoilers for the movie Dark Crystal, if you've never seen it, they're actually each one person.
Yeah.
So that have been separated. And the Skeksis representing sort of like the dark
evil,
desires
dark
and the
side,
evil, and the Mystics being like, oh, we're just the most peaceful, good things that ever lived. And I think that, if you're getting into a story of some Gelfling discovering that is what is going on, like there's a lot of unpacking to do there that I don't think would work in just a film.
Louis Letterier, who did The Incredible Hulk, Now You See Me 1, and The Clash of the Titans is responsible for directing. Which seems to me a very odd choice.
That does seem like an odd choice to me, too.
That's not the guy. Just based on those films, which are all super CGI heavy.
Right.
Just not my first where I would have gone.
Yeah, when you're thinking like practical effects, primarily puppets. Like if you watch the original film, The Dark Crystal, there are no people in it.
Yeah.
It's literally all puppets.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe he's used to like directing things that aren't there, but it does seem like a very odd choice.
Yeah, like I feel like someone like Guillermo del Toro would be
That's exactly where my mind went.
If he was doing this, I would be like banging my head on a wall, wondering why it's not here yet.
And he does like 500 million things all the time, so I don't understand why he didn't.
He's perfect for that because he loves monsters, he loves rich fantasy world building,
and
he loves creatures.
And Guillermo del Toro is also a director who's not afraid to embrace kind of the dark aspect of things. And like, this is going to be a dark story, you guys. Like, if you've seen The Dark Crystal, you know that literally all of the Gelfling were murdered. They were all murdered.
Matt Key was traumatized by it as a child. He's brought it up every time we talked about this. He's been like, I saw it as a kid. It scared the hell out of me.
That, like, the Skeksis go, my dad would literally, like, I would be in the living room, like, doing my thing, and he'd be in the kitchen, and I hear my dad go, just to screw with me, and I'd be like, Dad, stop! Stop, it's scary!
Matt Key puzzle piece. We just found it.
Yeah, you just found a little bit. Yeah,
Big time.
No, this was my favorite movie as a child, but because it terrified me, and so like I think that that's something that's really important to keep in the series is that kind of horror aspect of it.
agree.
Yeah.
And within the first 10 minutes of the film, you see the Skeksis emperor die and his body literally crumbles. Like I would
Yeah.
hide behind the couch during
Yeah.
that scene.
And then you would be like, and I'm watching it again.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And you know what? Like going along with that, I think that there's like an element of storytelling that we had in like the 80s and stuff like that. We had movies like The Neverending Story, where
Sure.
you have like Artax in the swamps of sadness, and like,
yeah,
like
Neverending
that
Story.
was devastating.
That movie.
Bawled. I still kind of tear up when that happens.
I hate that movie.
I
because
love
of that
movie.
scene.
Is it just because of that scene?
I just, there's a lot. There's a lot. That's a puzzle piece of Sasha that we will get another day.
But like, I think it's important to
movie
hold on to that
bums
sort of
me.
like dark storytelling
Yeah.
and like not being afraid to just go there, and like hearing like Louis Letterier. I mean, he did The Incredible Hulk. Not one of the best
fine.
Marvel movies. It worked. It was fine. It introduced the character, but the choice doesn't inspire confidence in me or excitement.
He
but-
also did the new film of Clash of the Titans. Now, the original Clash of the Titans was also one of my favorite movies
Yeah.
as a child.
Yep.
And I don't love the new one.
Yeah.
So I'm not excited, but I'm not going to count it out.
Well, so here's something that will inspire confidence, I think. There was a promo video that Netflix released, and we see a lot of practical effects. And there was a statement made by the VP of Original Content who says that the show will be a mixture of puppetry and digital effects. But that's good. Puppetry is good. Puppetry,
Yeah.
good.
Puppets does
I mean,
inspire
that looks
some
awesome.
confidence. Yeah.
That looks super, super cool.
Yeah.
So I think that has a very Guillermo del Toro look to it.
Totally.
I think that they are very much aware of how beloved the original is, and it's the Jim Henson Company is involved in this.
Yeah.
So this is not going to be, they're not going to run roughshod. Like I really
Yeah.
do think that this will be done in a way that will make fans like Emma and traumatized little children like that still rejoice.
Yeah. And I think, too, you know, at the time that Dark Crystal was made back in the 80s, we didn't have the kind of visual effects that we do now. So they did everything with puppets out of necessity. And I think that used creatively and sparingly, like not just being like, oh, we can do this with CGI, so we will. It's like, okay, we're going to do puppets, but how can we enhance this?
It should be
digitally?
a supplement, not. It shouldn't be the backbone. It should be a supplement. So like,
Yeah.
if they're having a hard time making a pupil move, do a bit of visual
Absolutely.
effects. That's fine. But like, depend on the practical effects of it. Like, the video starts with like 30 seconds of Jim Henson talking, and just hear.
You just brought Emma and I to our knees.
No, I did the same thing when I was watching it. I was like,
Yeah.
I was watching it in the writer's room, and I was just like, don't cry because
Yeah.
Jim Henson's talking.
Yeah.
Like, because it's an immediate throwback to your childhood, because you hear like Ernie, you hear
Yeah.
Kermit, but you also know like that he created this entire world, and it's from his brain.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and you know, with the original release of the film, we had it on Laserdisc, and there was like special features on the Laserdisc.
My parents produced Laserdiscs back in the day. Nobody knows Laserdiscs. Have a fight. What's that?
And on the Laserdisc, there was this whole making of portion that was very
Yeah.
reminiscent of what they showed for the little teaser of
Yeah,
this series.
I saw that.
And
It's on YouTube,
It's
like-
incredible, and it shows them like making the puppets and just the amount of detail that they go into, and like how they create the eye sockets with the eyeballs that move, and
like
it's incredible.
like showing the Landstriders and that whole
Yes!
like
Oh my God!
sequence
It's
with like the stilt
people on
walkers. Like,
stilts. Oh, it's so
it was
good.
like, how did you do that? You were insane. But
All
like,
right,
yeah.
Netflix, do you see this? To quote RuPaul's Drag Race, don't mess this up. That was the soft quote.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is a lot riding on this, and we believe in you, and we think that you will do Jim Henson right. And you better. And we want to know from you guys at home, are you as excited as these two nerds about this prequel? Because you should be. It's going to be awesome. Let us know in the comments below. You can tweet us at SJ News. Make sure to like and subscribe. And of course, you can always click here for more Screen Junkies news. See you soon.